What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we are getting into my experience over the last 2 weeks with this little baby, the iPhone 13 mini. And a huge shout out to Trademore for sponsoring this video, but more on that in a little bit. So the iPhone 13 mini, I love the mini line, and I think there's a rumor going around that this is the last year they're doing a mini, and that will just break my heart because I love this small little phone. Like, I absolutely love it for so many reasons, mainly because it's just got a smaller screen and it keeps me out of my phone. It keeps me less distracted by my phone. And maybe that sounds weird, maybe it's just something up in my head, but I personally like it for that reason. It fits in my pocket no problem, and you know, it's had decent battery life. So I came from a 12 mini using as a daily driver, and I upgraded to the 13 mini, and to be honest, this is gonna sound, I don't know, take this how you will. I haven't noticed much of a difference between having a 12 mini and having a 13 mini, except the color and the battery life. That's really the main differences that I've noticed here. I mean, I know that the cameras are improved, but they're not exactly the same sensors that are here on the Pro model. And if you need to see the 13 Pro side by side with the 13 mini, that's kind of your size comparison there to see how much bigger the regular 13 Pro is than the mini. This is a small little guy. He is a small little baby, and I absolutely love him. But I will say here though, the 13 mini has made a big improvement over the 12 mini in terms of battery life. And I mean, okay, so again, I don't keep like daily track of my screen on time or anything like that. And with the 12 mini, I would kill that thing, I guarantee you, like 3 to 4 times a day. I would run the battery down to 20%. That's how much I use my phone already and how much notifications are going on and blah, blah, blah. I'm happy to report that this only usually dies about half that time, or I depleted about half that amount. So you can even see right here where I had a charge, and obviously this is starting from about 6 a.m. in the morning and then all the way to the next morning. So in that 24-hour period, it's been charged twice. The last being charged up to, well, actually I would say 3 times, but if you don't count this little time I charged right before the video started, it's really only been charged twice in the last 24 hours, and that's with 11 hours almost of screen on time. 10 hours and 54 minutes of screen on time. Sounds pretty fantastic to me. 10 hours over 24 hours. That's legit. And I charged it up to about 60% for that second half of that 24 hours, as you can see right there. And so, I mean, even if you want to include doing maths and things like that, I still think that the number's about 6 hours of screen on time for a battery from 100 to about 20%. Which is absolutely ridiculous. I think that's really good. And again, like I said, that's the main difference that I've noticed here with the iPhone 13 mini over the 12 mini anyways. And so I wouldn't even recommend upgrading to the 13 mini if you were coming from a 12 mini, because I just think that there's not enough there. There's a lot of minor improvements here to the mini lineup versus the Pro. There are actually a lot of under the hood improvements. The 13 mini, I think, has even less improvements than the 13 Pro, but I mean, that's obviously going to be a subjective thing, depends on what you want. You could just want the upgrade for the color. I got the pink one here. I had the blue one last time, and I think that, I mean, it's definitely pink. Should we call this rose gold? Is this rose gold or is this pink? Because technically it's pink, but I'm pretty sure the rose gold looked very damn similar to this. Anyway, that's besides the point. Of course, on the 13 mini this year, we had a base storage upgrade to 128 gigabytes, which is nice, and if we have the A15 processor in here, so it's gonna be faster, yada, yada, yada. All of that is not really seen in daily practice. The screen is 60 hertz. I don't care. 120 hertz is nice, don't get me wrong, but for me, just personal use every day, the 60 hertz on the mini is fine. I'll take the size. Obviously, it'd be nice if we had 120 hertz on a small phone like this, but you could probably imagine how quickly the battery would deplete at that point. So I am okay with how this is. Real quick though, gotta throw it over to Dom with the snazzy leopard shirt again so he can tell you about this video's sponsor, Trademore. Huge shout out to Trademore for sponsoring the video, and if you buy a bunch of phones or upgrade your phone every year or anything like that, I personally don't like doing the back alley meetups, the shady things off the internet. I personally recommend Trademore. Trademore has premium pre-owned devices, meaning that they choose the best of the best devices by looking at specs such as battery life, cosmetics, and functionality. Each device goes through a 30-point inspection test before being sold to customers. Trademore also offers a money-back guarantee. If you're not pleased with the device, Trademore will give you your money back within 30 days of the order date. Now, if you're looking to sell your smartphone instead of buy one, all you have to do is visit Trademore's Sell Your Smartphone page to find out how much your phone can be worth. You can trade in used phones as well as tablets and smartwatches with Trademore, and you'll get very competitive offers. Trademore will send you a free prepackaged prepaid box with all the instructions you need to send in your device, and the offer you get from Trademore is good for 30 days. Definitely check out Trademore using the link below in the description, and a huge shout out to Trademore for sponsoring the video. So on the back with the cameras here, obviously on the 13 Pro we have a very much upgraded camera system. Despite what some people were initially saying, there's a lot going on in this new camera system. We got better apertures, we have bigger sensors. It's a thick boy, as you can see on the backside. Everything has been upgraded with this camera. On the iPhone 13 mini, not so much the case. Of course, we do have the cameras here, the camera setup, the two lenses here anyways, from the iPhone 12 Pro. So it did get a bump in the camera department, but it's not going to be as noticeable, in my opinion, when you compare it to something like the 13 Pro models this year, because the cameras are definitely much noticeably better on the 13 Pro model versus the mini. But again, they all take great pictures. Let's just level with that. They all take great pictures. It's 2021. It's not rocket science to make a phone have a good camera, and they've done it here. I'm not even gonna complain about the lack of a telephoto lens, because personally, I will take a wide angle lens over a telephoto lens any day of the week. That is going to be a completely subjective thing as well, but I don't use a telephoto lens that much. I just don't, you know? And so I would take the wide angle lens over that, and I'm glad that we have that here. Not a whole lot happening here with the 13 mini, but you know what? It's a damn good phone. I think that this phone, it's one of Apple's best phones for me personally, and if they do retire it in 2022, I'm gonna shed a few tears, because I just like having a small phone. And I like having a small phone that meets the current power and requirements of the larger phones that Apple sells. I mean, it doesn't have everything, right? But it's got more than enough for the size it packs, and depending on what kind of person you are and what you need in your daily life for a smartphone, this might do the trick. I could not do an iPhone SE over this, because it's just lacking too much. It's got older technology inside of it. This is basically a flagship, latest and greatest, just like the Pro models, just missing a few things that I don't use day to day in my life, and that's perfectly fine with me. Would I have loved to see this get a better camera system, like the same things that are on here? Sure. Would I love to see it get a more fluid display? Yeah, that would be great. But at the end of the day, I'll take battery life over everything else in a phone this small. This phone might die quickly for me, but it also charges very quickly too, because you gotta think about it. The battery's smaller, so it dies quickly, but also the battery is smaller, so it charges quickly. And that is great, because you know what? I can just be on a trip to Target in my car, and I have this plugged in, and I've gained a huge percentage just over that short drive to the store. And that's pretty much me. That's why I don't really run into a lot of issues about this always dying, because I'm at my desk, I'm in the car, I'm doing things. Most of the time I'm in a place where my phone can be on a charger. And to me, that's not a big problem, and I like the portability and just everything about this little baby phone. It's just, it's great to me. And I know that there's really not much to say on this, because honestly, I mean, I was gonna go through and show a bunch of camera samples and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But really, if I showed you camera samples between these two phones, you're not gonna see the difference, especially on YouTube, on the internet. You're just not, you know what I mean? Like, the cameras are good on here. they're good. The cameras are good on here. They're a little bit better on here, but these are just fine. And for me to waste any more of your time just trying to give you some side-by-side things of something that's gonna look identical, I just didn't really feel that was necessary. But I think that if you're looking for a good phone, a good small phone that is packing Apple's latest and greatest tech inside of it, the iPhone 13 mini is definitely the way to go. And those are just my 2 cents on it. I don't have any gripes about this phone at all, except that maybe I have to charge it twice in a day because I have a lot of stuff turned on and happening on my phone. The screen lights up a lot. I don't keep the brightness too high. Usually it's about right there. That's pretty average for me, but I really don't have any gripes to say about it. It's a great phone. It's basically the cheapest flagship you can get from Apple, and that's that. I mean, if the mini is for you, congratulations, and I'd love to know more of your thoughts about this little guy down in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos like this drop in the near future. But I want to know, what would you go for? 13 Pro or 13 mini? Let the battle begin. Leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate all the support. It means the world to me. This is Dom, and I will catch you in the next video.